The President has given 7 of these in the past. And one only needs to look at what has happened these past 7 years to understand that his direction has been bad for the country and bad for the world. If I were the President, I would focus on 2 things. One is the economy. The economy is in deep trouble, and we have to change what has gone on in the last 7 years. We have to, first of all, do a stimulus package that really helps the American people, and then we have to get a budget that is balanced. The President's been spending red money for so long that the deficit is really untenable. As far as foreign affairs, the President has to change direction. He has to understand that we need a surge, but that surge doesn't have to be in Iraq. It should be with our diplomacy. Every place you look, we have a lack of diplomacy, whether it's talking about any place in the Middle East or elsewhere. We have fewer foreign service officers than it takes to man a United States aircraft carrier. Our Agency for International Development has dropped from 16,000 employees to 3,000 employees. And then people wonder why Castro and Chavez are taking our lunch in Central and South America. Those 2 despotic leaders are exporting doctors and lawyers by the thousands. They're sending oil to those countries, and we're doing basically nothing. As the Peace Corps, the President promised us in one of these State of the Union messages that he would double the Peace Corps. He has not. He hasn't done anything to increase the Peace Corps, and as a result of that, these wonderful volunteers we have too much to do, and they don't cover enough territory. So those are the 2 areas that I would focus on if I were President. Well, last year I chose Senator Jim Webb, and he was really tremendous in his response. The governor's choice was by the Speaker. I certainly went along with that. But what we expect to hear from her, and I've had a number of conversations with her today, is what she has done in creating the miracle she has in Kansas. A very, very red state that she's been reelected as governor. A state where she's worked on a bipartisan basis to get things done. That's what our country needs, and she's going to give that message to all the people in America tonight. Well, I hope that what we do is give some direct rebates, checks to America that will be spent quickly. That will stimulate the economy. I hope we give some breaks to the unemployed. Unemployment benefits needs to be extended. I hope we do that. Those are the main things we need to do to stimulate the economy. There are other things we need to do on a more long term. We have to have a stimulus package that involves going after our infrastructure, which is in such a state of deterioration. For every $1 billion we spend, we create 47,500 jobs. Those are high-paying jobs, and the spin-off is a lot more than that. We need to do something about LIHEAP. That is, people are getting cold this winter. They need to have the money to be able to pay their bills. That money would be spent right away. We need to do something with food stamps. Food stamps, a person who is on food stamps, and 40% of the people who are on food stamps work 40 hours a week. They get 33 cents a meal. We gave them a little extra money, they would spend that. That would be stimulative for the economy. The President is really good at scaring the American people, not good at legislating and governing. I believe that we need to have some votes. We all want to get the bad guys, but we want to do it in the framework of the Constitution, which doesn't seem to bother the President very much. We want to be able to have a vote on whether or not there should be retroactive immunity. I think that's something the American people deserve. We have to do something about our energy. We need long-term tax credits so that people can start doing something about alternative energy, sun, wind, geothermal. We need to do that. We would hope that we can do something on health care. Health care, even though the President has stood in our way, there are certain things that we can do, a few things we can do, like having Medicare be able to negotiate for lower priced drugs for Medicare. They can't do that now. It's against the law. That's ridiculous. Leave No Child Behind is leaving lots of children behind. We need to do something about that. We need to do something to have product safety, consumer safety, so that we're not having toys imported from China and other places that if a kid sucks on them, like kids suck on everything, they get sick. We need to do something about patent reform to be more competitive worldwide. We need to do that. So there are lots of things we have to do.